I think that'll be great for this county.
For Pike County residents, higher property taxes and infighting within the county board has led to a similar feeling.
They certainly need to do something about their problem that they're having.
Enter Tuesday's primaries and a handful of new people running for 5 positions on the board.
We'll get new blood in and taxes and stuff will be better.
I think that's good. Anytime that you have new people on a board, or whatever, get fresh ideas, come up with some new things, get things in order.
Even with the potential for fresh ideas, residents say those remaining on the board have to embrace the new voices.
They need to make sure that they listen to them and take everything in stride.
So as candidates Chris Lanham and Sheriff David Greenwood look to earn a spot on the strenuous board, residents have this to say about their hopes for the county.
Make the taxes better, make the community better, keep track of funds.
And of the 8 candidates running for those 5 positions, challenger and current Sheriff David Greenwood finished with the most votes. The other challenger, Chris Lanham, finished 4th in voting, which was enough to move on to the general election. Lanham and Greenwood were joined by incumbents Mark Mountain, Andy Barrowman, and board chair Rita Hoskin.